Hey mamas, welcome to today's prenatal workout. I've got a 15-minute workout for sciatic nerve pain with stretches and exercises to help strengthen and alleviate that tightness, that burning sensation down the legs. Let's start with a pelvic tilt. We're gonna come onto our backs carefully, hands by your sides, feet close to hips, pull your belly button in toward your spine and then gently lift by tucking your pelvis under and then release. So you're squeezing your glutes just a little, drawing in that pelvic floor by pulling your belly button in toward your spine. It's like you're trying to swallow a blueberry. You pull, tuck, release. It's a small movement. I want you to try as best as you can to relax your thighs and to not clench through your legs or clench through your hands. If it helps you, you can turn your palms up. So we're just working those deep core muscles, the pelvic floor muscles here. It shouldn't be a really big burn or anything super drastic, right? It's a small movement. We're gonna do everything 50 seconds on, 10 off today, but you can take your time, do a few more or less if you need to. Last one, and we're gonna rest. Okay, now we're gonna take those arms out really wide here into a T. Shoulders are anchored into the mat, knees are up over the hips. We're gonna slowly drop those knees over to one side, keeping those shoulders anchored. Bring them back to the center, other side. So it's a nice massage for the spine, the glutes, releasing that tightness in the back of the leg where we feel that sciatic nerve pain. And we want to keep the shoulders anchored so we're engaging with our core. So we're not just letting the knees fall. It's not a total side twist stretch. We're still working the core and creating that mobility, that space to open up the spine. You can go as low as you want to with those legs as long as your shoulders are anchored. Almost there. Good work. All right, we're gonna move to a glute bridge now, so feet close to your hips. You can keep your arms here or bring them down by your hips, whatever feels good. We're just gonna drive through those heels, lift them up, and then down, lightly tap the hips. Up and down. So pulling your belly button in toward your spine, driving through those heels, squeezing your glutes. You want to feel this in the backs of your legs, your glutes. So if you feel it on the front of your legs, you're probably lifting your hips a little too high. So try to stop right when you feel that burn in the glute. How are we feeling? If you need a rest, if you've been on your back a while, you're starting to get short of breath, feel free to take a rest and turn to the side and then come back to it. All right, we're gonna take a little breather, and this time we're gonna move to a single leg bridge. So we're gonna lift one leg up, knee is gonna come over the hip. Let's lift up and down. So that leg is gonna stay bent about 90 degrees, and then we're just driving through that front heel or the back. You can do whichever side you want to first. And then we're just lifting high. And again, I want you to try to use your glute, your pelvic floor, your core. So we're trying to keep those hip flexors out of the equation so we can strengthen those core muscles. Adding the breath, breathing out at the top, pulling that belly in. Inhale as you release to the bottom. Almost there. Let's rest. We're gonna do that same thing, other leg. And here we go. Leg up, drive the hip, light tap. You'll probably feel a shift between one side and the other. One side's gonna be stronger. And it's good to do things like this, like a single leg exercise, so we can isolate one side of the body. And that way we work on those asymmetries that we naturally have. Now we're really gonna feel those glutes fire up. You might feel them get tense and tight, but remember, we are gonna stretch too, so we're gonna relieve that tightness. It's it's important to do both. You have to have strong muscles and you gotta stretch them out. Usually, tightness equals weakness. So we wanna do both strengthening and stretching to relieve that tightness. All right, we're gonna add a glute bridge this time. I'm gonna move away just a little bit with a pulse. So drive up those hips and we're gonna pulse at the top. Just a little squeeze, pushing those hips high, driving out of those heels. Now, this might burn a lot. It should burn a lot. So if you feel like it's too intense, just take a little rest, come down for a second, come right back up when you're ready. Again, we want to resist using those thighs, resist gripping through the hands. If you're doing that, turn your palms up, take them out like mine. That'll help you resist that urge to push through your hands. We're almost there. Whew, good work, you guys. Okay, we're moving over onto our hands and knees for a cat-cow. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips. We're gonna tuck that chin, arch the back, let the belly hang. Round the back, pull the belly in toward the spine, tuck that chin, let's do it again. So we're just going back and forth, fluid movement. Relaxing right here. Engaging that TVA by pulling the belly button in. Great core exercise, great pelvic floor exercise to connect to those deep core muscles. Just move at your own pace here. And relax, we're gonna move to a bird dog next. So hands under your shoulders, opposite arm and leg are gonna lift. Here we go. So arm to shoulder height, leg to hip height, and we alternate sides, squeezing the glute just a little, pulling that belly button in toward the spine, and then trying to move really quietly. So as you come down with that arm and leg, it's really soft and gentle. So we're keeping that pressure in the core. Again, connecting to those deep core muscles, pulling that belly button in, engaging pelvic floor, working the back of the body. So important for strengthening those muscles that will help support our growing bodies, changing bodies. And that's really what it comes down to, is all that changing and stretching and adjusting our bodies have to do creates that excess pressure. We're gonna try to relieve that today. Okay, gently come back to your backs. We're gonna start with some lying stretches. So one foot down, one leg up to the ceiling. You can flex or point the foot. We're just gonna gently take that leg toward us for a hamstring stretch. Now, you can see I have barely moved my leg. That's because my hamstrings are incredibly tight. If you can pull it towards you a little bit more, go for it. If that is too much, you can even bend the leg and pull that knee to your chest. Be mindful of your belly, of course. So just gently releasing that leg. Again, if you are tight in your hamstrings, you're gonna feel quite a bit of resistance here. And so take your time, don't rush into it, don't force anything. We want this to feel good and relaxing to an extent. All right, and we're gonna take that same leg. This time, we're gonna cross it over, open that knee, flex the foot, grab behind the opposite leg, and then just gently pull it towards you. Now, you might not need to even pull it towards you to feel this. For me, just crossing it over and lifting this leg, I feel a big stretch. So this is for your piriformis. That's that deep muscle, deep within your butt. It's very hard to target. But this stretch, ooh, you are gonna feel it. It gets tight so quickly, so easily. I had to do a lot of work on my piriformis during my last pregnancy. It's very tight, especially on this side, which is probably why I can feel it already and barely even actively stretching. But if you need more of an active stretch, you can pull that knee closer to you. Do whatever feels good here. Just keep relaxing. All right, we're gonna do that same thing on the other side. So opposite leg down, opposite leg is gonna go up for that hamstring stretch. So just give it a gentle pull. Again, you can flex or point the foot here. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be pretty. Mine's not really pretty. Ooh. Like I said earlier, usually tight muscles equal weak muscles and vice versa. So if you find something that's tight, it's probably needs some strengthening too. So that's why we pair the strength and the stretching, so you get both. And I mean, sometimes it's just how you're built. Like for me, I just have tight hamstrings, I have short legs. So I'm always tight no matter what, but we still have to work on the things we're not good at. It's not like we can just neglect it. Okay, we're gonna move into that piriformis stretch now. So crossing that knee over, we wanna flex the foot to protect that knee, grab behind. Yep, this is a good one. And if it's too intense too, you can also just keep that foot on the floor. Just stay here. That's a great hip opener, but to really get into that piriformis, you are gonna wanna pull behind that thigh. That's really gonna create that openness in the hip. And just don't forget to breathe either. We don't wanna hold our breath in this one. We wanna let that tension go. Just a few more seconds here. Can you pull that knee in a little bit closer? Create a little deeper stretch. Good work, you guys. Okay, we're gonna flip over carefully, come into a child's pose. So knees nice and wide here, as wide as is comfortable for your belly. Extend those arms and then just melt into the floor. So right here, try to just let go of any tension in your limbs, fingers and toes, your face, your jaw, your forehead. Just try to let it all go. All right, we're gonna move on to a modified pigeon. So we're gonna take one leg forward, one back, flexing the front foot, pulling it toward your groin. The back foot can be relaxed, and we're gonna stay here and then slowly walk forward. So we're leaning into that front hip. Now you can stay up here, you can come to your forearms, or you can take your arms straight and melt your chest to the floor. Whatever feels good, whatever your flexibility allows, whatever your belly allows. Gotta be mindful of that as well. Just let it rest. Don't press your belly into your leg. Just let it rest there as comfortable as possible. Feel some good baby movement as my belly's resting on that foot. A lot of times she's not moving during my workouts, but maybe because this one's a little bit more gentle, I can feel it. All right, we're gonna take that to the other side. So same thing, other side, 90 degrees, flexing that front foot to protect the knee, pulling the heel toward the groin, leaning into that front leg, nice and easy. We're nearing the end of our stretch workout, our strength and stretch workout. I hope you all enjoyed this. I hope you already feel some relief. And this will be a good one to just add to your routine, even doing it a couple times a week to help relieve that sciatic nerve pain and just open up your hips anything to keep you comfortable throughout your pregnancy is worth doing. So I hope you all have enjoyed this one. And that's the end. We've finished. Let me know what you think in the comments, if it's helping with that sciatic nerve pain and tension. And be sure to check out my other prenatal workouts to help strengthen, prepare your body for pregnancy, labor, delivery, and postpartum life. And I will see you all next time.